Alright? Shalom. I want to give our praises to Yahweh by Shem Yahushai. I want to give double honor to the apostles of great millstone that rule well. Salutations to the men and the hopeful and saints elect. Alright? It's the Trinidad camp. Just want to do a little edification for the elect's sake. And the name of the video is the spiritual meaning of circumcision. Alright? Because we understand that we are being Hebrew Israelites, our custom is to be circumcised, but then it also has a spiritual side to it. And what is the spiritual meaning to it? So this is what we're going to go into right now. Alright, so without further ado, we don't go straight into the scriptures. Give me Genesis.
This is Genesis chapter 17, verse 1. And when Abram was 90 years old and 9, the Lord appeared to Abram and said unto him, I am the Almighty God. Walk before me and be thou perfect.
Yeah. So now, when the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai called us into this truth, He actually told us the same thing like our forefather Abraham. He said, walk before me and be thou perfect. So we're going to be perfect before the Lord. Alright? We're going to be perfect. Another word for perfect is what separate. When you separate yourself, you're actually making yourself clean. And that is one of the benefits of circumcision. You actually make yourself, your body more clean. Alright? Your dick actually be it more clean. You're harder to get disease and whatnot. Alright? So it actually is a clean act. Making yourself clean, purifying yourself by actually cutting off that foreskin. So yeah, we are to be physically circumcised, but guess what? We are to be circumcised spiritually too, which is circumcising the mind, circumcising your heart, love. Let's go back to mind. Means what? To cut off yourself from all them wickedness that you used to do in the world. And that is spiritually circumcising yourself. Alright? Go back.
Verse 2. And I will make
Lamar, if you have anything to say, could say it.
Verse 2. And I will make my covenant between me and thee. I will multiply thee exceedingly.
Go ahead.
And Abraham.
You jump down to verse 10.
Verse 10. Verse 10. This is my covenant which ye shall keep between me and you, and thy seed after thee, every man child among you shall be circumcised.
Yes, so it said that is the covenant. So every man shall be circumcised. Because really and truly, when you look at the laws is actually for the men. Alright, so the laws teaching the men how to be clean, how to be holy before the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Alright, so that was the physical part of the law, or the circumcision, where the Lord telling Abraham that he and all his seed, his kindred, had to be circumcised. Alright, but now the spiritual part of it is us putting away all wickedness that we used to do in the world and actually coming into this truth as a new man. Alright? Yeah, putting aside the leaven, because the scripture says the leaven is malice, is wickedness. So by putting aside the leaven, just like when you're preparing for the Passover, circumcising the skin is actually putting aside the wickedness also. Because guess what? To keep the Passover, you had to be circumcised. So if you're doing wickedness, then guess what? You might as well don't keep the Passover, because the Most will destroy you. So it all goes back to what? To making yourself clean. Psalms 119 verse 9. However, all shall a young man cleanse his way, by taking heed thereto according to thy word. So it's cleaning yourself through the words of the Most High. Alright? Go ahead.
Yeah, so look up the word circumcised, right? One of the meanings is to cut off, to produce a foreskin of, in the case of males. Going on to the next definition, it means to purify spiritually.
Yeah, to purify spiritually. So that is what we're doing by coming in this truth. When we circumcise we heart, we actually purifying ourselves spiritually. That is the spiritual side of the circumcision. We taking off that foreskin of the heart, where while in the world, the scripture says our conscience bearing witness, where our conscience, which is the spirit, will tell us not to do certain things, but we will still go ahead and do it. So now we take off that foreskin, that flesh from off our heart, where we will listen to the Lord's law. Alright, somebody give me Romans 9:31. Alright, we will actually do the Lord's law, keep the Lord's laws willingly. Alright, go ahead.
It said Leviticus 20 verse 26, and ye shall be holy unto me, for I, Yahweh, am holy, and have severed you from other people, that ye should be mine.
Yes, the Lord saying you shall be holy. Alright? Separate. Be clean. Alright? Go ahead.
This root.
Yeah, what the Romans 9.
This is Romans 9 verse 31, and it says, But Israel, which followeth after the law of righteousness, had not attained to the law of righteousness.
Go ahead.
Wherefore, because they sought it not by faith.
Yeah. So it all goes back to faith. Alright? It all goes back to faith, because when you circumcise in your heart, you're doing it willingly. You're doing it willingly for Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Nobody enforced it here. You ain't doing it like it's a tradition. So when it's circumcised in your heart, you're actually doing it because you wanted to fulfill the will of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Go ahead.
But as it were by the works of the law, for they stumble at the stumbling stone.
Yeah. So now, guess what? They didn't keep the law. They just keep the law like it was a tradition. So we're not supposed to do that. So that is where the spiritual study circumcision come in. We doing it willingly, of a willing heart. Alright, let me just read something here real quick. This is 2 Corinthians. 2 Corinthians. Oh no, my bad. Galatians chapter 2 verse 17. Alright? It says, But if while we seek to be justified by Mashiach, we ourselves are also found sinners, is therefore Mashiach the minister of sin? Yahweh forbid. So now, when we come in this truth, when we seek to be justified by Yahweh Shai, we putting away all wickedness. But we can't be doing the things that contained in the Lord that the Lord forbid. Committing adulteries, uncleanness, fornication, we can't be doing that. That is when we fall from grace. That is when we justified by the Lord. That is when we uncircumcised. When we circumcise, it's because we doing the things that the Lord, that acceptable unto the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushai willingly, not as his tradition, because the circumcision actually was just keeping the law as just works of the law. That's why the Lord says circumcision availeth not, and uncircumcision availeth nothing but a new creature. So now, by being a new creature, you do the things of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai faithfully and of a sincere heart. Verse 18. For if I build again the things which I destroy and make myself a transgressor. So when you take away that flesh over your heart, that take fat off your heart, off your mind, alright, because the word love go back to mind. When you take away that flesh, that take flesh, and you start to listen unto the words of the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, you actually make yourself circumcised spiritually, because you're actually doing the things that please unto the Most High. But if you're not doing it, then guess what? You are uncircumcised. And if you're doing it because somebody else said do it, then guess what? And it's like tradition, you're actually being circumcised because you're being justified by the law and you're not living according to Yahweh Shai. Alright? So then therefore you ain't profit, Lord ain't profiting you nothing. Alright? Go ahead. Go ahead. We gotta read loud, eh?
It's in Ezekiel chapter 11 verse 19. And I will give them one heart, and I will put a new spirit within you, and I will take the stony heart out of thy flesh, and will give them a heart of flesh.
Yeah. So that is where the Lord said that in Hebrews 8 that He gonna make a new covenant with us, that He gonna take away that stony heart where we wasn't listening unto the words of the Most High. But now the Lord gave us that flesh of heart where we will listen, where we will actually try our best to sincerely keep the laws, commandments, and statutes of the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, where we circumcise ourselves to do the will of the Lord, and not do it as is just by the works of the law, but do it because we sincerely want to follow the Lord. So we circumcise ourselves faithfully. Whereas even coming in this truth, we circumcise ourselves faithfully naturally, because guess what? Think about somebody coming and tell you had a cut off piece of neck. guess what? You mightn't do it. But when you come in this truth and then guess what? You say that, hey, you gotta be circumcised. You're gonna do it because why? You're doing it because it's the will of the Most High. Not just because a man telling you to do it. You're doing it because of faith. Alright? And that is what it means. That is the physical, that is the spiritual side, the spiritual side of the circumcision, where you're doing things pleasing unto the Most High sincerely. Alright? That is the spiritual side. You're doing things that the Most High wants you to do and refraining from evil, just like the Most High wants you to do, because the scripture say, knowing therefore the terror of the Most High will persuade men. So you know the terror of the Lord, so you actually do the things that the Most High wants you to do. Alright? Go ahead.
Just by keeping our law. Right?
Talk louder.
Just by keeping our law is a law by faith, because you know the thing about it is I'll just read it, right? Because as the brother say before, somebody coming and tell you that chopping off part of your prickhead, or whatever the case is, some people say that you're mad, or whatever the case is. But reality is something pleasing unto the Most High, right? It's just the book of Second is just start at verse chapter 1 verse 35. It says, your houses will I give to a people that shall come, which not having heard of me, yet shall believe me, to whom I have shewed no signs that they shall do that I have commanded them.
Yeah, they're gonna do it with a circumcised heart. They're doing it willingly. Alright? They're gonna do this just because, hey, the faith of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. But the scripture said, Israel which have the law, they don't keep the law. But they do it as it's just of the works of the law, not mixed with faith. And we can't be found doing that. Because guess what? At some point we're gonna end up being transgressors again, because the faith that necessary for us to keep the laws, commandments, and statutes wasn't there, it wasn't present. So they wasn't spiritually circumcised, they were only physically circumcised. When you're spiritually circumcised, then guess what? You're gonna be zealous for the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai. You're gonna go out every week. You're gonna do your videos. Even if snow falls, you're gonna go out and do the Lord's work. You wouldn't say, nah, well, for 3 months I ain't going out because it's cold. Nah, then guess what? You're physically circumcised. Alright? Give me the 1 Corinthians 15:46.
1 Corinthians chapter 15 verse 46.
Talk a little louder.
It says, howbeit that was not first which is spiritual, but that which is natural, and afterward that which is spiritual.
Yeah, so going back to Deuteronomy 17, that what was first was natural. But now, this is spiritual. Alright? So here we are to physically get circumcised, but spiritually we are to circumcise our hearts to do the will of the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai.
Right.
That is the spiritual side, where we're doing it actually from our heart, sincerely. Because anybody can get circumcised, and you can come in the truth circumcised. But that don't mean you believe in the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai so much that you're going to do whatever the Lord asks you to do. That is why the Lord put Abraham through test of faith. Circumcise your prick and sacrifice your own son. It goes back to a test of faith. So it's scripture say without faith it's impossible to please him. Go ahead.
This is Romans 1 verse 17. For therein is the righteousness of power revealed from faith to faith. As it is written, the just shall live by faith.
The just shall live by faith. You understand? Give me the Romans 4.
Romans 4 chapter 11. It says, and he received the sign of circumcision, a seal of the righteousness of the faith which he had yet been uncircumcised.
Yeah, so Abraham was yet uncircumcised when he received the promise. Understand? And we were uncircumcised when we received this calling. But guess what? He was tried and he was found faithful before the Lord. Understand? Go ahead.
That he might be the father of all.
Go ahead.
That them that believe, though be not circumcised, that righteousness might be imputed unto them also.
Go ahead.
And the father of circumcision to them who are not of the circumcision only, but who also walk in the steps of that faith of our fathers.
yeah.
Verse 12.
Go ahead.
It says,
Now, you could go down to verse 13.
verse 13. It says, for the promise that he should be the heir of the world was not to Abraham or to his seed
Go ahead.
through the law, but through the righteousness of faith.
But through the righteousness of faith. So guess what? Not just because he circumcised his rod, he received the promise, but because of what he did it by faith. He did it by faith. He circumcised himself by faith. And not just the simple act of circumcising a prick, is actually the faith that comes with it. So yes, we're going to be physically circumcised, but the faith that comes with it, that is the spiritual side of the circumcision, where you're actually doing these things willingly, because you believe that Yahweh Hashem Yahshua is the name of the Most High and his Son, and that you're going to do these things to please them. That is the spiritual side of the circumcision, where you're doing the things that the Most High required to do faithfully, without wavering. Go ahead.
Verse 14. For if they which are of the law be heirs.
Jump on to 19.
Verse 19. It says, and being not weak in faith, he considered not his own body.
Yeah, so he didn't even consider his own body like, hey, I had to cut a piece of my dick off. He didn't consider that. He just said, hey, Lord want me to do this, so I'm going to do this. And that is what Abraham did. He didn't consider his own body. Go ahead.
Now then, when he was about 100 years old, neither yet the deadness of Sarah's womb, he staggered not at the promise of the Most High through unbelief, but was strong in faith, giving glory to the Most High.
God, go ahead.
And being fully persuaded that what he had promised, he was able also to perform, and therefore it was imputed to him for righteousness.
God, understand, it was counted unto him for righteousness. And that is basically how we had to be in this truth. Our faith had to be counted to us for righteousness, not just, alright, well, I circumcised, so that is it, I found righteous now. It's actually your work that you're putting in, which is true faith, and not just because somebody says to do it. You're doing it because you believe you're doing it to please the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahshua. Go ahead.
This is Colossians chapter 3 verse 23. And whosoever he do it heartily.
Yeah, whatsoever you do it heartily. You understand? When you're doing something heartily, you're actually doing it because you believe what you're doing is the right thing. Whatsoever you do it with all your might, with all your strength. Alright? Do it because you know you're glorifying and praising Yahweh Hashem Yahshua. That is why you're doing it. You're doing it heartily. Go ahead.
As to the Lord, and not unto men.
And not unto men. Because if a man say, hey, cut off a piece of prick and you do it, you might just do it for the man's sake. But if you're doing it because you're reading the scriptures that, hey, we're supposed to be circumcised, and you're ready, and you wasn't wavering, like, no, I ain't doing it again. You wasn't like that. But it was like, hey, get this shit off. I want to keep the covenant to the Most High. That is where you're doing it faithfully and out of righteousness. That is when it counted righteousness. Alright? By casting off all wickedness, that is actually being circumcised spiritually. Casting off all wickedness because you know the Most High frowning on that. Go ahead.
This is James 2, start at 17. It says, even so faith, if it hath not works, is dead being alone.
If it do have works, it's dead being alone. So that if you just show your faith. Go ahead.
Yea, a man may say, thou hast faith, and I have works. Show me thy faith without thy works, and I will shew thee my faith by my works. Thou believest that there is one power, thou doest well. The devils also believe and tremble.
1 John 3:3. 1 John 3:3. Come on now.
1 John chapter 3 verse 3. It says, and every man that had this hope.
Yeah, that had this hope that, hey, we're doing this for Yahweh Hashem Yahshua, and that at the end of this we receive the salvation of our souls. Every man that had this hope, go ahead.
It says, and every man that had this hope in him purified himself even as he is pure.
Yeah, you purify yourself. And how you purifying yourself? Not by dipping your head under water, by taking heed thereto according to his word, circumcising yourself spiritually. Means what? That stiff neck that you had, that rebellious way you had. Because guess what? The scripture said, obey them that have rule over you. Alright? Now you could say, hey, you obedient to the Lord, but you're bucking up against your camp leader. Guess what? You're not circumcised. You're not circumcised spiritually, you're circumcised physically. Because guess what? Romans 13 said, he that resisted the ordinance he that resisted the ordinance of the Most High. The Most High set these men up from the apostles come all the way down. So then if you say that you're faithful to the Most High, and you're obedient to the Most High, and you're bucking up against them that over you, then actually you're not circumcised spiritually. Plain and simple. Alright? Come to Psalms.
This is Psalms 92 verse 15.
Because the scripture say, even as he is pure. Alright, go ahead.
To show that the Lord Yahweh is upright. He is my rock, and there is no unrighteousness in him.
Yeah, there's no unrighteousness in the Lord Yahweh Shemel Shai. So we had to seek to be just like that, where we wouldn't go off. Because the scripture said to appear before him without blame. So to appear before him without blame is cutting off your foreskin. Because when they do research, it actually said like that little muck you get on your prick. Alright, if you're being late in the evening, alright, guess what? When you're circumcised, you don't get on no more. They say if you circumcise your prick, it's harder for you to catch STDs. So you're actually making yourself clean. When you circumcise your heart, it's harder for demons to fuck with your head. Because you circumcise yourself spiritually. So demons ain't gonna get in your head, because spiritually you're trying your best to serve and to please the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahshai. So when you're doing that, when you circumcise yourself spiritually, it's harder for you to get unclean. But once you sincerely circumcise yourself. Alright? What up?
This is 2 Thessalonians chapter 1 verse 4. It says, so that we ourselves glory in you, in the churches of power, for our patience and faith in all persecutions and tribulations that ye endure.
Go ahead.
It says, which is a manifest token of the righteousness, the righteous judgments of power, that ye may be counted worthy of the kingdom of power.
Yeah, and guess what? That is the hell that we're going through. Because once you circumcise your heart, you're gonna just, hey, and like when you now get circumcised, it's the healing process. It might be a little painful. So guess what? Circumcising yourself spiritually gonna be a little painful. But guess what? When it heal, you're gonna be all good. So when you heal, means when the Lord take you out this wicked flesh, when you heal, you're gonna be all good. You're not to worry no more about the pain, because the pain gonna go away. The scripture says, and there were no more tears.
Done.
Alright?
We've been with joy for the night, but
Joy cometh in the morning. Understand? Go ahead. Galatians 5, 1 to 6.
This is Galatians chapter 5 verse 1. Stand fast therefore in the liberty wherewith Yahweh Shai Mashiach had made us free.
Go ahead.
And be not entangled.
Free from what? Free from the bondage of this world. Alright, go ahead.
And be not entangled again with the yoke of bondage. Behold, I Paul say unto you, that if ye be circumcised, Yahweh Shai Mashiach shall profit you nothing.
And what it means by you being circumcised, mean that you justified by the law. Yahweh Shai ain't profiting you nothing. Go ahead.
For I testify again unto every man that is circumcised, that he is a debtor to do the whole law.
Yeah, because why? Because you're living a sinful life. The scriptures say, if I build again the thing which I destroy, I am found a transgressor. So the man that know the law and continuously sinning, guess what? He come like a debtor to the whole law, because you're actually making yourself circumcised. Because you know the scriptures and you're not doing them, then guess what? You're making yourself circumcised. Means what? It means that you're making yourself indebted to the law. Alright? Go ahead.
Verse 4. Yahweh Shai is become of no effect unto you.
Yeah, Yahweh Shai come no effect unto you because you ain't doing the things that are pleasing unto the Lord. And you're not doing it out of faith. Go ahead.
Whosoever of you are justified by the law, ye have fallen from grace.
You have fallen from grace. And the Lord gave us grace. So if you be in this truth and you living wickedly, guess what? You're falling from grace. Alright? You're falling from grace. Meaning that you're not under that liberty that the Lord offered us. Alright? Because the just man gonna slip 7 times. But guess what? The Most High might wink at certain iniquities that the just man do. But with the wicked man, guess what? The Most High gonna deal with, bring that full brunt against you. That full judgment. Alright? So, being in this truth, you gotta try best to be circumcised and not be debted to the law. Try best to do the things that the Most High required to do that pleasing unto Him. Alright? Galatians 6:15.
This is Galatians 6 verse 15. For Yahweh Shai, for in Yahweh Shai Mashiach, neither circumcision availeth anything, nor uncircumcision, but a new creature.
Yeah, so circumcision though profit nothing, nor uncircumcision, but a new creature. A new creature means that you came out of this wicked world, as it said in wisdom of 2nd Ezra, that the Sodomites he shall give a fish. So now we were like these fish that came out of that Sodomites sea. Alright? We became a new creature by not being accepting the Lord, but actually being called to do the duties of the Most High, to fulfill the wishes of the Most High. Alright? We actually became a new creature because we had to actually go through a process where we cast off that old man and take up that new man. You understand? So we cast off that old man and become a new creature. And that is when the Lord gonna profit you. When you're doing the things that He wanted to do. Alright? Anybody has something? Alright, give me Jeremiah 4:4.
So Jeremiah chapter 4 verse 4.
Go ahead.
Circumcise yourselves to the Lord and take away the foreskin for your heart. Ye men,
Take away the heart, the skin away. Read over that again.
this is Jeremiah chapter 4 verse 4. Circumcise yourself to the Lord.
Yes, circumcise yourself to the Lord. Go ahead, and not to man, not just being man pleasers. Go ahead.
And take away the foreskin for your heart.
Yeah, take away the foreskin of your heart. So take away that stubbornness that you have, where you wasn't gonna keep the way you ain't trying your best to keep the laws of the Most High. Being that you're physically circumcised but spiritually not circumcised, because it have plenty of wickedness in your heart. Go ahead.
Ye men of Judah and inhabitants of Jerusalem,
Go ahead.
this my
All the way to
fury.
6. All the way to 6.
Verse 4.
Alright, go ahead.
Lest my fury come forth like fire and burn that none can quench it because of the evil of your doings.
Alright. So the Lord saying, circumcise the foreskin of your heart, lest that fury come upon you. And that is what we had to do. We had to circumcise that foreskin of your heart, because that is the real circumcision. So take away that heart, that flesh off your heart, where you wouldn't listen to your conscience, where you would know something wrong, but you will still go ahead and do it. That is what the Lord would want you not to do. To know that it's wrong and still go ahead and do it. Lord wanted you to know it wrong and turn away from it, flee from sin, as one flee from the face of a serpent. That is when you're physical, that's when you're spiritually circumcised. But when you're physically circumcised, and when you know not to do it, but yet you're going to do it, that is when you're physically circumcised. And guess what? You're indebted to the whole law, and Yahweh shall not profit in you. Alright? Anybody have anything to say real quick? Alright, so hey, with that, we just wanted to do that little edification that the spiritual study circumcision is by you actually pleasing the Most High. Alright, doing the will of the Most High sincerely, of a sincere heart, mixed with faith. Alright? Not being that old wicked nigger anymore. Alright, so with that, I want to give our praises to Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahushai, give double honors to the apostles of great millstone that rule well. Salutations to the men of the Hope and Sincere Elect. This is Trinidad Camp saying Shalom.
Shalom.